I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, wet, tell them run it up.
Hey, so how's it going, everybody? I'm Augustine Versace, this is Onell Media, and you are awesome. So today I want to be showing you guys how to shoot video on your iPhone and have it look as good as possible. I will be showing you guys my studio setup, so let's get started, okay? The first thing we're gonna get into is lighting. You have to have good lighting. Make sure that you are lit, but one of the things that is really good about phones is with your phone, you are going to be getting good dynamic range. Having great dynamic range is something that professionals really love to have, and it's something that has everything lit evenly, and that is one of the best features of using your phone. Having everything lit evenly, the brain inside of your phone works really well in having everything being lit as evenly as possible. So right now, I want to show you guys the light that I use. My main light that I use for my videos is the Godox SL60W. It is a 60 watt light that I use, and I also have the Godox double diffused softbox, and that gives me what I think is 47 inches. So it gives me a nice, bright, wide, soft light that I can use for my videos that helps it look more professional. Also, with that being said, I have lights behind me. Those lights right there behind me are the lights that I use to add accents to my video. The accent would be the blue and the green, which are my favorite colors. It's more of a purple, but bluish purple. And of course, that tandem together is something that looks pleasing to the eye for me, so I love using it. Then we get into sound. As far as the sound on my videos, I always use one of two mics. I do not use the mic inside of my phone. I use the Rode Video Micro. It doesn't have any type of power that comes from a battery. It actually is just plug and go. So once you plug it in, if whatever you plug it into has power, it is ready to go. Period. Plug and go. But also, if I want to have a mic closer to me or hanging just out of frame, I do use the H1N from Zoom, which is external audio outside of what is being recorded with your camera. It's amazing. And if you are a Final Cut Pro user, you already know that when you put your files into Final Cut Pro, you can link the audio really simply within the program. So with that, we move on to the controls for the camera. And the reason that I say this is you want to have a little more control than what you natively have with your camera sometimes. So I use the Moment app, and when I really want to get into the nitty gritty and have a lot more control over what I'm doing, I use the Filmic Pro app. But for most starters, using the camera as it comes with your phone is good enough. If you want to be a little bit more advanced, you can move over to Moment, which allows you to shoot RAW, as well as letting you shoot with a flat profile that you can color grade. But if you're not going to be color grading, Filmic Pro, Moment really can be overkill with your phone. Just make sure that you have that natural motion blur at 24 frames per second. Works great. And you can see yourself with that front-facing camera on your phone a lot clearer than you can with, say for instance, the camera that I use for most of my footage is the A7 III from Sony. And it has a flippy, tilty up screen that goes to a certain point and stop. There is no way for me to see what I am doing with that camera without an external monitor. With your phone, you have the monitor right here in front of your face. So that is the beautiful thing about using a phone. And that note, now moving on to the next thing, which is why a phone is beautiful to use and is a lot easier once you get those first couple of things right, is you have iMovie within the iPhones. And within iPhones and Android, you can use the Adobe Rush program, which actually streamlines you using the footage that you have from your phone and being able to get it edited and put it onto a platform. So I use iMovie from time to time. I do use Adobe Rush, but for me, it is still pertinent for me to take it off of the phone and then send it to my MacBook Pro. Using an iPhone makes that process so much easier because we have a thing called AirDrop. And anybody who's used AirDrop knows how amazing AirDrop is, where you can shoot footage and then you can just drop it into your computer in no time. It is super fast, super simple. I still use Final Cut Pro, but on the go, you do have the option to use iMovie and to use Adobe Rush and many other third-party apps from different companies where you can edit your videos. And last but not least, you do need to have a good tripod. Typically, I use a travel tripod where I could just take it anywhere and set it up real quick. But when I'm doing things within my studio setup, I do have a fluid head, more sturdy tripod that I use, and I throw my phone right on top of that and get to recording. So let's do a small recap. First, you want to do lighting. With lighting, I use the Godox SL60W with the Godox Diffuse Softbox. But as a small caveat, I do have other lights that I used to use. And this one right here is off of Amazon. Real simple. It was probably like $30, $40. It is the Supon L1229. And the battery that I use for it is, of course, the NPF 550 batteries that so many people have. This right here is a staple when dealing with anything battery powered when it comes to shooting video, because so many things use this small compact battery and it has so many applications. And even with this small light that I got for cheap off of Amazon, it has features to where I can control how bright it is. It goes all the way down to 20% and it raises to 100%. I can also change the Kelvin values. Right now it's at 5600, but then you could go more tungsten and it stops at 3300 Kelvin, which is beautiful to control. And I got this little clicky thing. Listen. That's satisfying. That is really satisfying, man. That is really satisfying. So one click, change the Kelvin. Second click, change the percentage of light from 20% to 100%, just with a little scrolling. And this right here will still come in handy and light your subject. So guys, if you learned anything in this video, please give me a like, give me a subscribe, ring that bell notification so you can be notified every time I have a tip, trick, or tutorial. And as always, I'm Augustine Versace. This is Onell Media, and you are awesome. Love you guys. Peace.